okay. For those who can't get on now, can you please mute yourself out, but by all means ask questions or ask at the end. So let's start sharing screen, and let's have a look at what we've got. So I've just drawn, welcome if you're on the 7-day free trial. Please make the most of the week. Go into the Financial Freedom Movement group. You've got access to that, and have a look at the units. Join as many live sessions as you can. If you're new members, I know we've had a lot join since Christmas, then go through the units in in.center. Units 1 for the basics of Forex, getting the foundations. And then units 2, 3, and 4, I think of them like a library, really. So if you want to know more about any one thing in particular, like Fibonacci or quarter theory or moving averages, then go into those unit sections. There's some very nice short videos, and then there are little questions at the end to make sure that you've understood it properly. And we look forward to seeing you. Right, now I've just drawn this scan. The Harmonic Scanner is something that we get for free. I don't know the whys and wherefores, but it's a very clever person, the founder of the company, Christopher Terry, who created it. So it's got Fibonacci built into it. It's mathematically based reversals in the market, 5 reversal points, 89% accurate over 100,000 independently verified scans. So I've just drawn GBP USD, and let me just mute someone out. Thanks. Right. I've just drawn this on, so we can start by looking at this one. And the reason that I use the scanner, number one, it's free with the package, the platinum package that we get. And number 2, I can put pitchforks on, which are, again, they've got Fibonacci built into them. They're trend lines. So once I've put them on, sorry, I just need to mute someone else out. Oh, okay. Share screen. Once I've put them on, then I don't have to draw trend lines across levels. Pitchforks are trend lines, and they are very highly accurate. So if we go back to the scanner, you're given a free trade here. You can just take the trade off the scanner. I'm just going to write this down for our watch list for later. We'll see how this is setting up. Find my list. So you can see you've got, and again, it will. This is an H1, an hourly scan. It will depend on your entry. Now you can see I've drawn it on, but I don't know yet whether it's going to solidify, because that's only moved. That's 64 pipettes. Put the decimal point in, so that's 6 pips. So before we do anything with this trade, we want to see that go 20 pips, or sometimes Paul draws a Fibonacci on and he goes for 15%. I just do it the lazy way with the 20 pips. So GU is a sell scan on the hourly. It's got a stop loss of 1.29973, an entry of 1.29821. You can see it's moving down already, and then various take profit levels. So we'll see how it matches up with my drawing and where I will be planning to get into the trade. So I'm just writing down these profit levels. And the beauty of drawing the scan on TradingView is that I can then keep the scans forever. If I've drawn them accurately, the pitchforks remain accurate to the pip if they're drawn accurately. So I can trade up and down the levels long after these scans have disappeared, because they disappear off the bottom. And then TP, take profit 3, is right down there, 8938. So we'll go back to the drawing. I look at my setups on the 15-minute.
Sarah, have we got any news this afternoon?
Oh, good question. I don't think so.
No.
Wednesday the 12th. Oh, is it Wednesday today?
It is.
all day.
Yeah.
Thanks for reminding me. I had a bit
That's what
I had a bit of a distraction this morning because I was halfway through live London trading on a session on Go Live with Chance, and it was 9 a.m. and my internet went down about 9:30, so it didn't come back on till about 11. Yeah, I know. So it was a bit of a strange morning. 4 p.m. my time. I'm on Paris time. Well done. Thanks for that. So cheers. 3 p.m. UK time. We've got red flag news. So we had some problems with that yesterday. Then later this evening, New Zealand dollar again, that dropped like a stone, the NZ pairs. So we're going to look at a couple of those today because they should, in theory, retrace back up 50%. And one of them I was looking at should go back up at about 60 pips if it sets up right. So you're right. We want to be very careful about USD pairs. So we always check Forex Factory first. If we don't, we have to do 20 push-ups live on the session. Okay, so yeah, in your dreams. So we've got 2 breaks and retests of the D point. It is coming down. So it should have gone that 20 pips by now. So I'll just measure that there. That's 19.5. So I think that's good to go. And then the reason I dropped to the 1 minute is because I like the precise entry. It enables me to put a 10 pip stop loss on. You don't have to follow this system. It just depends on your style of trading. I like to be in and out of trades, but some people like 25, 30, 45, 50 pip stop losses. They're looking to hold trades overnight. I don't like to do that, or hold them over the weekend. I don't like to do that. And then they're looking for 50, 100, 150. And on GBP pairs, as the market warms up, you are generally with GBP pairs looking for 50 to 60 pip moves, particularly obviously in London session. So we've got it coming down nicely. Our entry point, if we're going to look at the entry we were given, is 129821. So it's just coming down to the suggested entry there. So we're right on entry. Now what's interesting about that is you can see price is now coming down below my moving average, the 62 EMA, and that's what you want to see, that the orange line, which is average of price over 62 days, is going to be dropping. And then we're looking for, let's see where it says take profit 2 is. Take profit 1, 129539. So it's 539. So it gives you all to you. It makes it nice and simple. If you are new, then you should be following Paul on the 9 a.m. UK London time session, because the Be Your Own Bank, BYOB strategy is very, very simple. It's just put the Heikin-Ashi candles on, put the SAR on. You'll have a free version of TradingView. Put the SAR on, we'll give you the settings. Put the stochastic on here. And then the third one is our exclusive software designed by Kevin, RX Copper, very clever guy, and it just simply tells us where to buy and sell. So you can see it's saying buy at the moment, and that will wait for the SAR flip, and then it'll say sell. Obviously you use some judgment because you can see it said sell there and buy there. Clearly you've got no pips there. So you need to be looking at the Bollinger Bands and the distance from the 50 EMA, that purple line, which is very similar to the 62. I'm just used this system that I've learned over 2 years because it was around quite a while before BYOB, and it's the one I've learned. And they always say, you know, learn your strategy, stick to it before you branch out into other strategies. So I just like to stick to this one. So if we look at where the scanner said the take profit 2 was, it's just above quarter theory. So this is where you apply your own rules and judgment. And whenever you're getting into a trade, think about how you're going to get out, how many pips you want out of it, what your stop loss is, what your ratio is. It's fine going around grabbing pips. Oh, I got 10 pips, I got 20 pips, I got 70 pips. but pips mean nothing without showing the return on your investment. And that return on investment is your stop loss ratio compared to your take profit. And I like to work quite tight. On a GBP pair, I'll go to 15 pips. But I like to work to generally a 10 pip stop loss to a 20 pip. And I'm in and out of trades. I'm not a long swing trader. I stack in trades to swing these if we've got a good run on something. But generally, I'm looking for that 20 pips, 25 pips a day, risk to reward of 1 to 2. And then our third line for your profit. So you can be overlaying with anything I'm talking about. If you're on the 7-day free trial, or you're a new member and you're following Paul with a BYOB, then put the Ninjacator on and you can see how it will line up with my system and with the profits that we're given, the take profits from the Harmonic Scanner. Sorry, I'm just going to have to see who's making their lunch. And that will enable you to get more confident with your confirmations, and then it's simply a question of practice. And whilst you're refining your strategy, I'm just waiting for price to come down below that 62. Whilst you're refining your strategy, then do some on demo. That's what your demo account is there for. So I wouldn't personally be looking at 1.29539 like the scanner's given us, because I've got quarter theory, which is a very strong line of support and resistance. It works off how big bankers settle up money at zeros. It's absolutely proven. And I just put those on. I just click them on and off. I've got a paid version. So it's just that one here, automatic quarter theories line, and it just marks price. Just switch it back on. It marks pips it marks price at 50 pip intervals, so it enables me to measure the levels. Price will always move between levels, and that's at about a 200 pip range either side of where current price is. So I would be thinking when I'm getting into this trade that my take profit one is at quarter theory, and I would have it at 129,500, 1.29500. And then at that level, what you're going to do is and I've got the pitchfork running through there. So I'm looking at what price is going to do there as well at 1.29620. And if you say, oh, Sarah, I haven't got your pitchfork, look, can you see how that's a line of support and resistance, or as we call it, a floor and a ceiling? Price has rejected it there, rejected there. So you can see where you've got highs and lows. If you look back through, look left to see right, you can see where you've got resistance. And you can mark your own level, just run a horizontal line through, and that will give you your own pointy bits, as we call it, to look at. I just choose to use pitchforks, then I don't have to be drawing different levels the whole time. So as price comes down and we get in this trade for a sell, we'll be looking at whether it stalls out at that level and turns back, or whether it breaks through and then it will come down to the next level you're going to look at, which will be 129,500. And then take profit 2 will be just do a horizontal ray, then you don't get a line going all the way across. 1.29309, which is again quite interesting because it's just below my pitchfork. So again, for me, I'd be moving it up to there, and I'll say to myself, I'm going to look at that at about see if price stalls out at 1.29350. So 1.29350. So you can see how accurate the scanner is. And then for entry, I'm on the 1 minute. For entry, put the short position on, put it about here. And you need to be looking at the time because we're at 20 past. So look at your 15-minute close of the candle, half-hour close. Now, as it's a GBP pair, I probably would take it above quarter theory, and then I'd take it down to, I would want 20 pips. So I'm looking for price to go to there, and then we want to see so at the moment. Have we got new trend forming? Let's look on the 15-minute, see what the wicks look like. Let's see if I can make it bigger for you. Okay, so we want to see, because any candle, move that across, any candle will make its final print in the last 2 or 3 minutes. And what we're looking for is for this candle to want to push down. You can see on the 15-minute that the 62 is still coming up. And really you want price to be coming down below that. Let me just look at that entry again, 821. 821.9. So it's quite high up there. Oh. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong one. There we are. So it's actually saying, is that right? Yes, it's actually saying getting up there, but I think you'd agree with me. We wouldn't really want to be getting in up there. You know, I would want to be getting in below my pitchfork and preferably see price come down below that 62. So we'll see how that candle closes. It closed on the 15-minute, and what's the 30-minute doing? We can always come back. So quite a strong upward candle, but a nice wick down. So ideally, we want that pushing down and engulfing the buy candle. So for getting into this, you don't need to rush with any of these. What you're looking for is breaks and retests of about 10 pips. If it's coming off the D point, we've had that. We've had a 20 pip solidification. Sorry about that long word. And we're looking for the 30. So I'd probably wait for the 30-minute candle to close and see if it's going to wick out and be either engulf that, or it looks like it's a sell candle, and just see how it closes, because what you want is a strong push down. Now, if we put on go back to our 15-minute and put our indicator on, and then we'll move to another pair. We can come back to this. So definitely a sell scan. It is pushing down. Just be patient with it. And if we're using the indicator, we would change the candles to Heikin-Ashi, because that gives you, you're looking for a flat bottom. It gives you an average of price. It doesn't give you you want something that doesn't give you the wicks. Put your SAR on, and then put the, let's see what the stochastic's doing. So the stochastic says on the 15-minute that it's still got some room to go up, because as we know, we want it to be over 80 in the extreme, saying that it's overbought and that it's going to come down to this, like it has here, outside the purple box, to under 20, to say what we're looking for is for it to come here. We want it to be selling, and then once it's done its first move, depending on the time frame you've got in on, then you want you want to know that you're getting out for that current amount of pips you've got, and waiting for the next entry, or staying in it if you're on a longer time frame. I tend to just do BYOB when I'm looking at it on the 15 minutes. Some people go up to the hour or so. And then lastly, our very powerful, exclusive to us, Ninjacator, which I do absolutely love. I just can't believe we're so lucky to have it. So there was a small buy there, but you can see it didn't go down a lot. you didn't have what we call a good candle pattern. Lot of wicks, you know, very wicky at the bottom there, not strong and solid. Let's see if we can find anything that's strong and solid. There's something strong. There's a strong and solid candle pattern. You can see flat bottoms and a good length to them, and there's some there, a good solid body of the candle, not this sort of thing where it's consolidating along. Just price will always suck back to either the 52 EMA or the 60, the 50 or the 62 EMA. You don't want to get into trades when it's doing that, because you know, just going nowhere for hours drives you mad. So at the moment on the 15 minute, it's still saying a buy. Looking better on the 30 minutes. So just be patient with this, because usually New York moves, starts to move. But as I say, we've got USD coming up. So I'm not going to, as red flag news, I won't stay on this one anymore, but it will start moving later. But perhaps wait after the news at 3 p.m. and let the candles, let the price, let the market settle down. But look at this for a buy. I've given you the take profit levels and my levels as well, down to that quarter theory. And it'll be very, very similar for the next levels as well. But just let that news get out of the way. So did I didn't put TP3 on, did I? 98938. Let me just move this down. So that's right down there. 2989. 2989. Sorry, I think I've written these down wrong. I had take profit 2 as 129309. Just go back to the scanner. I was take profit 3. 128. Put an extra 9 in. 128938. 128938. So always check your figures. 128938. Round about there. That's your take profit 3, but I would suggest that you look at it around here. If you are going to swing it down that far, I would look at it at where the pitchfork is coming near to the quarter theory, because it will stall out there. So that's at 1.29030. If you're going to try and run it down that far, which is 80 pips, and the scan was about 97, I think. So that's GBP USD. And what was I going to look at? Euro NZD, because a lot of us caught big moves on this last night, 70, 80 pips. I think it went quite a lot more than that. Just on that news. So I think it was about there, down to there. So yes, it went 185 pips on that news, those two candles there. So normally what will happen, this is something that Orrin Wright teaches. I'm sorry about these orange vertical lines, nothing to do with me. The software on TradingView glitches whenever price touches quarter theory. Perhaps if I switch it back on, it might stop there. That seems to have cleared it. So what I was going to do was look at this for a buy on the basis that it could be about, what did I write down? EN, I've made a note of that. It could go back up about 80 pips to the 50% line, and I'll show you how to put that on. So I'm on the 15 minute. That was my trade call yesterday. Just take that off. There. Let's clean up the charts a bit. So if we, let's make sure I'm on the right candles. That's better. Right, so price has come right down now to the extension. You can see how powerful quarter theory is. Look at all those perfect rejections. 3 times off quarter theory. Very powerful. And the pitchforks. So I'm just going to take a fib to show you. If we, I'm going to take it from there. And your 50% line is right on quarter theory. Now, I can't say how long this will take to happen, but that's usually what will happen, that you can get into a buy to take it back up to this point, which would be, depending on our analysis on getting in, which would give you, there's 117 pips. But we don't want to just hop into a trade. I think I've put the fib the right way around, but I don't think it actually matters. So I've done it, just sometimes get a bit confused with fibs, but they're great when they work. So if I wanted to, so price went and I wanted to retrace. So that was the news that made it drop. And that's our 50, right, I should have drawn it from there to there, I think, because it sold hard on the news, dropped like a stone, 186 pips in like a couple of minutes also. And we want it to retrace to that line, which is just below quarter theory. So I'm sorry about all these. Let's see if I can get rid of some of these lines. At least change the color. Oh, that's the fib retracement. Maybe I'll leave that. I want to leave that at the moment. Okay, so I haven't got any extra lines. It's just that my fib's in white. Perhaps if I did it in yellow. Trend line. I can't remember where the color is on this either. Oh, maybe it's under settings. No. There, that's it. I'll just put it in yellow. So let's have a look on the 15-minute. So at the moment, price is doing nothing very much, certainly nothing where we'd want to get into the trade. But generally, what we want to look for on EN is a buy. And I would suggest that we go to the 1 minute. You can see how it's doing nothing very much at the moment. It's just playing along that 62. So I don't think we want to, we certainly want it to be, we want a new trend to be formed. Perhaps I better draw the trend for you on the 15-minute. And we haven't got much of a trend. I can't really draw much of a trend line on the 15-minute. Let's have a look at the 1 minute. The 1 minute can be a bit too precise sometimes when you're looking. But here's the current trend, which is from something like that. So that's the current trend, and we want price to carry on up, and we don't want to get into it. It's worth giving up some pips to make sure it's going to do what you want. So we don't really want it. There's 16 pips up to quarter theory and 30 pips up to the next pitchfork. So we certainly don't want to be getting into it. This is how I'd be looking at it, like that. and then that. So those are your levels to be looking at. And let's come back to 15-minute, see what the trend is on the 15-minute. And I can never get rid of that unless I do that. And one day I'll find out how to just remove brush strokes, but I can't get it ever to come off. So we're looking for a take profit at the 50% line, which will be here. And that's quite a good level because that's near a pitchfork, so stalling out round about there, and under a quarter theory where it will want to reject or stall out. So let's see if we can have a look at the current trend here. So I'll take the fib off now because I don't think we need it anymore. Just get rid of that. Although sometimes if I take this off and put it the other way around, I just want to see what level it's hit. So if you want to buy and you're using a fib, let's have a look where it is from here to here. Let's have a look. It's a bit difficult when you've had news in the way, so maybe this might not work so well. No, it doesn't tell me anything because normally I'd be looking for it to reject off the 88 or the 70, the 88 to 78 or the 61, but because of the news, I don't think I can tell so much. Get rid of that now. So take the text off. Okay, so on the 15-minute, we've got a little trend here, and I'm looking for it to break it. That's this trend here. So that's our current downward trend. Again, slightly difficult because of news. So I'm looking for it to do a break and a retest of that and carry on up. That's one thing I'm looking for. I'm looking for it to, and I'm on the 15-minute here, 15-minute trend. I'm looking for it to break 1.68. So I want it to be above 1.68, whatever that quarter theory is, 500, 500. And then think about buying it, but preferably I'd want it to break and retest that pitchfork level round about 1.68, 1.68603. So I'd like it to do this, and then this is on the 15-minute. So that's how we're going to look at that trade. So look at that for a buy. It does seem to be stalling out now. You'll have to be patient. I don't know. Did see yesterday. I've no idea why the euro moved in New York session. It was really weird instead of in London session. So that does seem to be, get rid of the brush, turning. And then your profit level will be at, where's it gone? Can't see it. Let's go back to 15 minutes. Take profit at 1.69410, or whenever you feel comfortable in between, because that could be take profit 2 with, let me write down entry, and your take profit 2 take profit 1 could be at that first quarter level and pitchfork here, which would be 1.69000. Sorry, that's take profit 1. Take profit 2 is 1.69695. The next quarter theory pitchfork level round about there, 0.6969. Oh, that says 410 at the 50%. So watch out for it at the 410, but you might be able to squeeze it up to the 1.69500, because that's quarter theory. Okay, so that's EN. You'll have to keep an eye on it. It's not moving much at the moment, but that's what we're looking for it to do. And at the moment, it's not broken, and I'm looking for it to break and retest that 1 minute trend. It's come on up through it, but I would be expecting it to test it before taking off again. And let's just see what the indicator is telling us. That is saying buy, but it's quite small candle pattern. Has the SAR flipped? And I'm only on the 1 minute, so that's not going to tell us much on the 1 minute. So on the, we haven't had the SAR flip. We're waiting for the orange dot to come below. We want flat bottom candle. We have got flat bottom, but they're quite small. The SAR hasn't flipped yet. And we've got quite nice wide. I can't see the end of the Bollinger Band. Oh, it's not that wide on the Bollinger Band, but there is on the 15 minute between where price is at the moment to there. Oh, that's 36 pips. But as I say, you've got quarter theory plus that pitchfork. Personally speaking, I'd feel more comfortable getting in for a buy once it's cleared this level like this, done a break and a retest at around about that level there. And then the stochastic is saying it is oversold and it does want to come up on the 15 minutes. So you have got it in the extreme, which is good. And there's a little gap forming there, and you've got flat bottom candle. So wait for the SAR to flip on the 15 minute. Make your own decision, because that is a strong line of support and resistance at 1.68500. So it has got to clear that, and then it's got to clear this trend line pitchfork at roundabout, because they do slope, roundabout 1.68627. So that's entirely up to you, but I think that's setting up quite nicely. So that's EN. And what else did I want to look at? There was a Great British Pound Swiss, but I think it started, I thought it was selling, but it went for a buy, I think. Let's see what I wanted to look. AJ, Australian. See what was happening on here. I can't do anything on this because it's outside my scans at the moment. Let's go back to the scanner. I know there was a new one on there. Right. Let me just move that. So this was Great British Pound, New Zealand dollar, that's the New Zealand dollar news. And you can see this one has also, this is also confirming that a new buy, which helps us on our correlating pairs. We're looking for the buy on GBP USD, but wait for the news as well. Remember, we've got news coming up in a minute. So if we look at, I don't think I've drawn this one because this has just come up. Has it? Let me just check the settings because we're coming up to the end of the hour, and I wouldn't get into trades in the last 10 minutes of the hour either. That's a nice big scan, 258 pips. And has it done the 20 pips to solidify? Yes, it has. So again, you've got a similar thing, probably taking that 50% line of the news candle. And I would, if you do put Fibonacci on, I would put it from the top of that wick, and I would include that candle there. I think that, I know that sometimes we say to be safe, you could just do the main candle. But when I was on Chance's session this morning and we were looking at news before my internet cut out, I'm pretty sure he took his fib down to here. So make a note of these entry points. This is a shark, but it has reached the second entry point. And the reason that, now one of them I did have a D point move, and I'm not sure I've written down where I've put that. I'm going to make a note of that to look at. I had my morning thrown out a bit. Oh, it was on Euro USD. That's okay. I've got to move the D point, because sharks, we always say sharks bite because the D point can move. That's why we wait for it to at least hit the second entry point or take profit one before we enter. So bearing in mind what we've just gone through with quarter theory and the 50% line on Euro NZD, take the same principle here and perhaps think about getting in this. You'll still get quite a few good pips, but don't enter it until it's cleared this line at take profit one, which is 2.0000. That's probably a quarter theory point anyway. So that's GN. I won't draw it on now and go through the same thing. It's the same thing as EN. If you want me to do that, I gladly will, to show you how to draw this on. But we probably would like to look at another pair before we go. Then we've got a watch list. So I'm going to put GN buy after 200959. But by all means, take it earlier. If you've looked at your levels of support and resistance, I need to draw this and see where the pitchforks are. I'll post it in my group, the Forex Dreamworks. You'll find it in there. I put all the new scans in there if you want that. And sometimes, and I do put stuff on the watch list, but I don't do all the drawings in our members group, Forex Ninja Traders. Okay. G-Chef was one other that I was looking at. I thought it was going to sell, but it didn't like it, and it stayed above the 62, and now it's going for the buy. So actually there is a trade here. It's done a break and a retest of the pitchfork. Buy. Has it done it at least 10 pips? Yes, it has. See, it's rejected quarter theory once, twice, and it's still above. It's respecting the 62 has cleared the 15-minute moving average yesterday. A very slow moving pair. That's all GBP CHF. It's slow moving. So I'm liking this very much for a buy. Let's go to the 1 minute. Although that 62 is dipping back down. Don't get into a trade in the 10 minutes before the hour, because often you get fake outs. And you can see how price comes down. It's retested quarter theory, retesting the 15-minute. So if you are in a trade and it retraces, don't always panic, because it can be retesting various levels. We've got confirmation 62 is above the 15-minute. The break and retest of here's the pitchfork by at least 10 pips. There's the break and retest. This could be what you call slippage, and the fake out in the last 10 minutes of the hour down to this point here. And then once it takes off again, you want to be looking to get into it. Let's look at our trend. The 1 minute trend is, we do a generous, make it very wide. So here's your fake out and retest. You want it to be keep above this 1 minute trend, and you really want the 62 EMA to come down a bit more and then it will, once price is above that, get in just after the hour. We put a long position on about there. I'll do my 20 pips there, and that's nice because with just a 10 pips stop loss, then I've got a risk to reward of 2 to 1. I'm risking 10 pips to win 20. And we'll go back to the 15-minute. Just move that over. So we'll finish on this one. I thought it was a sell all morning. It's clearly couldn't decide what it wants to do, and it's doing this, but this is a very nice entry. So we've got everything there. I've got all my 3 confirmations. So if I can never remember where I keep the confirmations on my, no, I can't find it on my, sorry, I won't bother. I've got the, I'll bring it up for the next one, the confirmations checklist. So we've got a break and a retest of quarter theory is one of them. We've got a pitchfork touch and a break and retest, that's 2. It's above the 62 EMA, and it's respecting on the 15-minute as well. It's respecting that, that trend. So just let it do its thing here in the last few minutes and come above there. And then you could be getting in with, let's just give you the figures. It's hitting quarter theory now, to move that back over, which is why you get that funny orange line, look. And also you want to be looking at how the hourly candle is going to close. Right, so stop loss of, you can do a bigger stop loss as it's GBP. That's entirely up to you. You could take it to 15 pips because you can see how it's faking out now. That would have taken you out if you were on 10 pips. I'll move it to 15. And that covers you. That covers you almost to the, well, it's past that previous low. So at 15 pips, it would be stop loss of 1.26413. But if you're patient and you wait for price to come up, don't rush into it. Wait for price to come up here. You can get away with a 10 pip stop loss, and you'll save yourself all this heartache of it, you know, dropping back down if you wait it to clear these 2 levels. So entry is going to be at 1.26569, and then take profit at 1.26763. That's take profit 1, but take profit 2. And remember, this is a slow moving pair, but your take profit 2 is going to be up at that next level, which will be 1.297, which is quarter theory. Let me write that down. 1.27, sorry, 000, and that's about 40 pips. So you've got a 20 pip profit range and a 40 pip profit range. But what we want to look at is what's happening on the hourly candle to see how it's going to close. And if anyone's got any questions, please feel free. Otherwise, it's Sharon coming on in a minute. So I want to be hopping on for that. So our hourly candle, it's very important how the hourly candle closes, because that isn't necessarily a good thing, how it's closing there. And that's why we're patient, because it will make its mind up in the last couple of minutes. What we want is it to wick out on that candle, on this sell candle, this green one. We don't want a strong engulfing candle like that. You see, that's a strong engulfing candle on that hourly candle. It engulfed the blue candle and then price dropped down, but it did stay above the 62. So we want that to close above quarter theory. And this is the last 1 minute of it. And then we'll just watch this, and then I'm going to stop sharing and recording and say goodbye. but that's what I'm looking for on this one, depending on how this candle closes. And we'll just keep looking at this for a minute. Oh, I'll tell you what we could do. What's the indicator say while we're here? Oh, I haven't got the ninja. I don't trade this pair often. I haven't got the indicator on. You keep your favorites as well on your trading view. Then you've just got them to click on there, and all the settings are done for you with the indicator. So it hasn't told us, and I haven't got the SAR flip on this one. Usually change that to circles. You can just see them a bit better. So you have got a SAR flip, but you've got a wiki candle. You haven't got a flat bottom candle on that. And on the half hour, no flat bottom candle, but it did on the half hour close above quarter theory, which is, and there's that doji candle. Sorry, it hasn't closed yet. It's closed there as a doji, which means it can't make up its mind what it wants to do. And on the 15-minute, it was dropping again, and it says sell. So it's retesting that level, the quarter theory, and we want it to stay above. But it's looking like it doesn't want to do that. Funny, it's not deciding, can't decide what it wants to do today. That's dropping, and that's why we don't rush into a trade, because it's still pushing down. So be patient with that one, but I'm looking for that for a buy. I'm going to stop sharing now, and unless anyone's got any questions, then we'll all head off to Sharon's, and I'll just stop recording.